We'll take your calls in the next half hour, but we have Mike Lindell. You know, Mike is, of course, is the inventor of My Pillow and the My Pillow topper, but he's been traveling the country defending Donald Trump and trying to help Donald Trump with these House and Senate races. Been a longtime friend of mine, has probably the most compelling personal redemption success stories I've ever heard in my life. Dr. Sebastian Gorka is with us, former White House advisor. His brand new book, Why We Fight, Defeating America's Enemies with No Apologies. We have that linked on Hannity.com, and it is a necessary book in these horrible times we live in. Welcome, both of you. Mike, what have you been doing? I know you were in Minnesota recently. I know where that's. You have your factories there, you have your workers there, but you've also been traveling the country fairly extensively.
Yeah, it's been a busy week. I was just with Laura Trump. We did a event in Minnesota, a fundraiser, and for all I'm working hard for Doug Wardlow against Keith Ellison and Jeff Johnson, our governor, and Karen Housley for Senate, or Karen Housley, and then we have Jason Lewis just visiting my back.
Yeah, Jason Lewis, by the way, is a very popular talk show host in Minnesota. Look, I feel good about the Senate, but, I could sit here and make all the predictions I want, just like these idiots on TV that have been telling us for a year. I always believe that the media wants to depress any sense of hope that people won't show up. That's not the case. We know in 2016. But I think now Kavanaugh, caravans, and the exposed lies and the real agenda of the Democrats that are trying to hide. They have to lie to win. That's the saddest part of that party.
No, it is. And not only that, but the radicals have taken control of the Democrat Party. When you have people like Maxine Waters saying harass members of the Trump administration, then you know the lunatics have taken over the asylum. But, Sean, let me give a sense of what do you say at the beginning of your show? Let your heart not be troubled. Let me tell you a story.
No, get it right. Let not your heart be troubled.
Right. I was in Florida last night for a battleground event with your buddies. You know, Mike Gallagher, Hugh Hewitt, Kayleigh McEnany.
Oh, yeah, great friends. Mike and Hugh are good friends of mine.
Right, so we were there with Kayleigh from the GOP, and we had about 800 people in the theater. And Hugh did something really funky. He said, can everybody who was a registered Democrat who voted for Trump please stand up? Sean, it was almost half the auditorium. Everybody's worried about this caravan coming through from Mexico across our border. I think Donald Trump has created a new Republican caravan of people from every walk of life, every social stratum. And I think what happened in 2016 is going to happen on overdrive in 2.5 weeks' time. But we've got to have faith, and we can't allow the fake news industrial complex to get us down. We've got to get out there to vote, and we've got to take our friends to vote.
Listen, it's going to be really simple. But you're either going to be happy the night of election night, or you're going to be sad that night, or it's going to be mixed results. And my answer is, why don't you go and win it all? I'm not sick of winning. And think of what Trump can do is if Mueller is now leaking that this thing is now coming to an end and there's no Trump-Russia collusion, which I've been telling everybody for 2 years. So what, now we're going to hand the reins of power over to Nancy Pelosi, Maxine Waters, and Gerald Nadler and Chucky Schumer? God help us. It'll be endless investigations, impeachment, and again, progress. What do they want to do? Take their tax cuts back? Mike, does that help your employees to lose their tax cuts?
No, and I'll tell you, Sean, when you talk about, by the way, I'm finished. I'm doing the rally on Houston with the president. We're meeting at the White House this coming week for the opiate crisis and all these good things that are still to come. I tell people all the time, remember we did that 100 days after the president was in power. People asked on that tour we did, people ask me all the time, what can we do to help our president? I said, pray for his wisdom, discernment, and protection. Well, now, back then we all went on faith when we voted for him. Now we have absolute proof. Look at this. Is amazing. All the great things he's done. You should be able to go out and tell your friends, family, and everybody. You can do more than just pray now. Get everybody out to vote. If everybody gets out and voted, that voted him, every state will turn red. Every person will be voting Republican. It'll be awesome.
Well, are we better off than we were 2 years ago? Is MyPillow.com better off You now have
Oh,
1,600 employees, all American workers, all jobs in Minnesota, and your business
is booming. My best day is today, Sean. Every day people ask me, when's your best day of ever My Pillow? It's always the day we're sitting in. And all my employees, what I see now in Minnesota is a confidence we've never had before. When my employees, at My Pillow, we've had the higher wages, and we've had this, we let people go out and try different things, and they can come back right where they left off if they want to. But we're seeing that with all the other companies, too, now. I'm in a big manufacturing area. We have 400,000 square feet of warehouse, and the wages are rising now because there's a competitiveness now where black unemployment in Minnesota is at a 17-year low, and Hispanic unemployment, and it's just amazing things are going on, and the regulations, the stuff that has been taken back, and that's helped us too. We're able to do things that the inner city stuff we're doing now, that I'm doing with my foundation and my recovery network. I'm seeing these things. It's just everything's changing.
I want to just tell people very quickly when we come back, and you have given your testimony a lot. What people may not know about Mike before he ever created My Pillow is going to blow your mind. And I'm going to let Mike tell you about that story. Also, don't forget Dr. Gorka's book. It is such a necessary message at this time, Why We Fight, Defeating America's Enemies with No Apologies. We put it up on Hannity.com, Amazon.com. All right, as we continue, Mike Lindell, the inventor of My Pillow, also the brand new My Pillow topper. It's like sleeping on a cloud, but Mike is traveling the country on behalf of all of the Senate and House candidates in these races. We're going to be in Houston and Beaumont, Texas tomorrow. Houston at 11 a.m., 3:30 in Beaumont. Details, Hannity.com. Dr. Gorka also writing his new book. It's really an important message, Why We Fight, Defeating America's Enemies with No Apologies. So, Mike Lindell, I'll let you just, we don't have a lot of time. We got about 90 seconds. Tell people where you were for 20-some-odd years of your life.
Yeah, I was a crack cocaine addict, and to the point where the drug dealers did an intervention on me in 2008 and said I couldn't buy crack anywhere. I've been up for 14 days, and they came back. They said, you always tell us that someday you were going to come back, and your pillow was just a platform for God, and you were going to come back and help us someday, and we're not going to let you die on us. And well, that's all come to fruition now. And I quit everything January 16, 2009. And now I'm coming in, I'm setting up this, some amazing, it's called the Lindell Recovery Network and my foundation. Sean, I'm actually speaking, this Saturday to 250,000 millennials telling that story in Dallas, Dallas Speedway, Texas Speedway. And that's 7:00 Saturday night. It's called a Pulse event. If you go to my foundation right now, we're actually we're gonna. I'm getting.
All right, I got to go quick. What's your foundation? What's the website?
The Lindell Foundation. The Lindell Foundation.
We're going to link the Lindell Foundation on Hannity.com, and that's this Saturday. And we'll also put up Dr. Gorka's book. Guys, thank you both. What you're doing, you're literally putting all your real work aside, trying to help get people elected. Thank you. All right, we got to take a break. We'll come back. I will see a lot of you in Houston tomorrow morning, Beaumont, Texas tomorrow afternoon. Details, Hannity.com. When we come back, our Friday Florida-Georgia Line Zach Brown concert series and Mike Bishop. He's running in Michigan's 8th District. And by the way, doing his best. Well, I'll explain his case when we get back and much more straight ahead.